Hi there, folks. We're back again with Charles D. Wood, No Good Wood, Yonkers City Court, Glendora versus Savarino. Service was by United States First Class Mail Priority. And now we include the odious so-called orders of Norman A. Mordew and Randolph Treese, the orders that we are appealing. And we are up to attachment 1. Eeny pretty. Alpha, attachment 1, page 1. The filing date is illegible. The stamp is illegible. District Court of the United States. I cross out United States District Court. United States District Court is not an Article 3 court. Article 3 by the Constitution of the United States. Are you through looking at the little ring? We will turn him off. He's lasted a year or two. He was a novelty item at Walmart. Clean hands. A United States District Court is an Article 1 court or an Article 4 court where the judge can, like an admiralty court, sit on his bridge and rule any way he wants to, and you don't have any rights. So you make sure when you go to federal court that you sue in the District Court of the United States, not what they call it, the United States District Court, because they don't want you to have rights. Glendora plaintiff versus Eric Press defendant. And it's the index number, and the magistrate is crossed out, and that's pursuant to Title 28 United States Code, Section 636. Appearances: Glendora, plaintiff pro se. Norman A. Mordew, M-O-R-D-U-E, Chief U.S. District Judge. But you notice that Eric Press does not appear, and that Eric Press is in default. No matter how you try to cheat Treese and Mordew. Okay. Decision and order, this is called. Background. Currently before the court is a motion from plaintiff Glendora objecting to this court's order and the order of Magistrate Judge Randolph F. Treese striking plaintiff's motion for default judgment. Objecting to the return of certain papers that she submitted to the clerk of the court and demanding a refund of the filing fee of $350, and for reconsideration of the court's order dated October the 9th, 2007. In addition to these requests, plaintiff has included in her submission what appears to be her discovery request or motion to admit. It's very important. Let me read that to you again. Plaintiff also includes what appears to be her discovery request or notices to admit addressed to Magistrate Judge Treese, the clerk of the court, and to the undersigned, Mordu. Well, Glendora would ask you, the reader, to scrutinize her October the 29th motion as precisely stated, warmed over, second-hand hash does not suffice. I want you to read my paper, and I did read it to you. It was a Halloween paper, All Saints Eve. Then, this ghostwriter from Mordu says, the plaintiff commenced this action by filing a pro se complaint against defendant Press, a court judge, a city court judge in the city of White Plains, New York, regarding plaintiff's dissatisfaction with the court proceedings presided over by Judge Press on August the 8th, 2007. See docket number 1, that's my complaint, which was filed August 23rd. So to this, Glendora says, not dissatisfaction with, but outrage with. Outrage at his traitorship to the United States of America. That's Eric Press. And not only on August the 8th, but also all of August, August the 1st, all of August, September, all of October, all of November, all of 2007. That was Mordu's page 1, refuted. Here we go to Mordu's page 2. Who was Mordu? The United States District Judge in the District Court of the United States, Northern District of New York, addressed Syracuse. Now Mordu's page 2 reeks with ignorance, dishonesty, dishonor, and fraud. Twice. Well, Mordu repeats his lie, and I'll read it to you. With respect to Eric Press, the law in this circuit, that's the Second Circuit, clearly provides that judges enjoy absolute immunity from personal liability for acts committed within their judicial jurisdiction. And here is a dumb case quoted, which is nothing but another bad decision by another bad judge. The absolute immunity of a judge applies however erroneous the act may have been and however injurious in its consequences it may have proved to the plaintiff. First of all, can you imagine anything more dis-American than that? No matter what the judge does, it's right. And no matter how much the plaintiff is injured, the judge is right. Well, that's just plain stupidity, and that's ignorance, and that's dishonor, and that's disrespect, and that's dishonesty. No judge is immune. Hear me and hear me well. No judge is immune. And even if it is the law in the circuit, first of all, there are no laws in the circuit. The only laws are from Congress or the New York legislature in this case. Judges do not make laws. They're there to enforce laws, which they totally fail upon. So, let me say to you again, loudly and clearly, Congress made no such law. There is no law of immunity. And you say the law of the circuit, first of all, you don't have laws in a court. Judges don't make laws. You say the law of this circuit, well, no matter what you call the laws of this circuit, they are superseded. Never. Or always. By the Congress of the United States, our legislative chamber. Have we made that point? Now, another point as to immunity. Not only do they not have a law that grants immunity, we have a law that says they're not immune. And I will quote that law to you. It's a civil rights law. And it's Title 42 of the United States Code. And it's the Civil Rights Section 1983, which says clearly, any person who violates your civil rights is liable to you. And a judge is any person. So you, Judge Press, have no immunity. And you have a crook up in Syracuse and up in Albany who are your accessories after the fact, trying to shelter you after you violated the United States of America. Got that? No immunity. Accordingly, Judge Press was dismissed as a party to this action. In light of plaintiff's pro se status, I absolutely refuse to have a lawyer. I am an adamant pro se. Impenetrably hard, obdurate, incapable of being broken or dissolved or penetrated, immovable, pro se. Don't ever hire a lawyer, ever. And because it was unclear whether the plaintiff was attempting to avert claims against other parties, and then there's a disjointed footnote on that, they cannot write an integrated paper. Do you want to know why they cannot write an integrated paper? You tell me. Because they have no integrity. Who? These judges, these lawyers, and these clerks, they have no integrity. They cannot write an integrated paper. They always have to have disjointed footnotes. Plaintiff was provided with an opportunity to submit an amended complaint to this court. Well, Glendora submitted the perfectly pleaded complaint. After submitting her original complaint, plaintiff also submitted to the court for filing a motion seeking default judgment against defendant Press. Well, naturally, I gave him 30 days to answer by Rule 4B, by Rule 4D, Federal Rules of Civil Procedure, and Mr. Press, as he always has, chose to run away, chose to be a fugitive. There's no more severe fugitive than Eric Press. Seeking default judgment against defendant Press by order of Magistrate Judge Randolph F. Treese, filed on October 10, 2007, plaintiff's motion for default judgment was stricken from the docket as prematurely filed because defendant Press had yet to be served with the summons and complaint. Well, we have three lies there, Magistrate Treese. Number one, press was served. Press was served by Rule 4D, Federal Civil Procedure. And your second lie is that I have proof that he was served, because he himself admitted that he had received it, and that he had also received the self-addressed stamped envelope, which is part of Rule 4D of Federal Rules of Civil Procedure. What was your third lie? Well, your third lie is that he was in default. He was in default. He was given 30 days. I gave him another 6 days to acknowledge the lawsuit. This is Federal Rules of Civil Procedure 4D. And to waive the cost of serving a summons. Oh, your third lie is that no summons was needed, because I asked him to waive the cost of serving a summons, and that's what the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure, Rule 4D, says. And this is what Martin Luther says. The song is about the devil. But it ends with, God always prevails. So that's your third lie. Press had a civic duty to acknowledge the lawsuit and save the cost of serving a summons. But, as characteristic of press, he never does his civic duty. He never does his duty to the United States of America, to the state of New York, to the county of Westchester, or to the city of White Plains. He never does his civic duty. Okay, I ad-libbed all that, and that's what was covered on pages 3. Oh, I would like to interject that they keep talking about it is the law of the circuit when the circuit can't make laws. So what were we saying, folks, before we ran out of tape and started mini DV number 17? It would be easier, Glendora, to pan the camera and move the chair. Every TV picture has to have red in it. That never did his civic duty before my eyes. Now, we said we had covered pages up to page 3 and 4 of the first attachment, which is 60 pages. I don't know whether it's better to talk this to you or whether it's better to read it to you. Well, in my, excuse me, here's a stray kitty cat. And I want to feed that cat. .com. Sebastian, remind me to feed that kitty cat and leave a dish of food out for him. Vegetarian food, that is, vegan. All through my paper, the Halloween paper, I made charges. And I gave Treese and Mordew and the court clerk and the ghostwriter notice that these charges were to be admitted or denied. And if denied, they were to be done so with specificity and with particularity. Well, when their answer to my paper and my charges and my demands came back, they did not answer them. What does that mean? If they did not deny or admit, then they admitted. This is the law of effect of failure to deny. If you don't admit or deny, then you admit them. Well, I said that press had no immunity, that no judge has immunity, and they did not admit or deny my arguments about Title 42 of the United States Code, Section 1983, the Civil Rights Law.